Next up, we have Too Many Light Years from the Freddy in Space 2 soundtrack. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Two things before the disclaimers. Number one, at the time of recording, we recently passed the 4,000 subscriber mark on YouTube. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I do not take this for granted. I am very grateful that I get to do this at all and that y'all like it. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being here. I'm just happy. Challenge for you, though. If we can somehow make it to 10,000 subscribers before Christmas 2025, I will take a fan fiction of the choice of the community, whatever y'all pick, one of them, and fully produce and voice act an audiobook for that. It has to be legit, though, like no botting, no duping, nothing like that. It has to be organic, it has to be legitimate. So that's the condition. Members, if you're a member on YouTube, you get early access to the content. I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays, and if you are a paid member on YouTube, regardless of tier, you get early access. You get access to all the videos when I schedule them. So consider becoming a member today. Disclaimers. Number one, this is my first time hearing this ever. So I will be pausing a lot, and I will be speaking a lot. I already am. I will do it more. I will be pointing things out as I hear them or as I realize them. And yeah. Number two, this is recorded live on stream on a single take. I will stumble upon my words. I just did. I will do it again. Whatever happens, happens. With that said, let's do this. Too Many Light Years. Let's go. And we start with the retro vibes. Okay, so we start with, what? Three elements, mainly. We have the drum, the bass drum, giving us a very steady beat, very 70s, like very retro sounding, like that psychedelic, not psychedelic, that like, I don't know how to describe it, the 80s, cybernetic themed music that we used to have. Really, really cool. We have a synth giving us our initial chords, our accompaniment, doing what is called arpeggios. Arpeggios being when you play a chord one note at a time. And then we have a higher, more chime-sounding synth giving us our melody with our motif. Motif being the smallest version of your musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from. And something I really like about these arpeggios being done is that they are engaging in what is called voice leading. So our concept right now is voice leading. Voice leading. When it comes to music, you have three elements: melody, harmony, rhythm. Harmony is one of the more difficult ones to comprehend. Like, that's the one that you spend most of your time learning about in music school, because harmony is the most meta out of all of the different things that exist in music. Melody is the individual horizontal lines, how, melody. Rhythm is the use of time, so, beat, speed, location, like when things happen. But harmony is the vertical slices, what chords you have, what chords your scales make, what scales your chords make, what the different relations your scales have, the way of changing from one scale to another, how fast or slow the overall group of chords changes between those things. But a way of doing, and within that comes the concept of a chord progression. A chord progression is just the order of the chords that you are playing. And usually it's going to be a combination of notes. So let's say we have the C major scale, right? Because that's the easier, that's all the white keys in the keyboard, right? So the E, F, G, A, and B, and then back to C. So the way chords work is that you're going to pick usually triads. Triads is what we usually use for chords. So we take C, E, and G, and we get our chord of C. That was my computer. We get our chord of C major, right? So C, E, and G. So then let's say we want to go Match, thank you for the Prime sub. Appreciate it. You scared the shit out of me. Enjoy your continued status as an artist bastard. Thank you for supporting this channel. Alright, so we have CEG. That scared the shit out of me. And then let's say we want to do the A chord with that familiar structure. And ask it. Thank you for the membership on YouTube. So let me just do the E, F, G, A, B, and C. Thank you for the membership on YouTube. Enjoy your status as a citizen, which is just Aristobastard Jr. Enjoy your early access to the content, your badge, and your emotes. So, we have this, and now, by the way, the scales repeat over and over in what is called octaves. So, did interrupt the flow? It's okay. I forgive you. All right, so we have C, E, and G, and then let's say I want to move to the A chord. Same concept, so A, C, and E. So we move there, and then we take it from there otherwise. And if you were to do this, and we were to move the chords around, and Bad Block, thank you for the follow on Twitch, welcome to the mosh pit, welcome to the day. You would see that, okay, C, E, G, okay, that is down here, and if I want to go up A, C, and E, then we would have to move the entirety of the chord over there, but with voice leading, we go and we apply a little bit of math. Yes, you can actually apply math, and we apply the concept of the common denominators. The chord of C major, and by the way, this chord is A minor, so C major has C, E, and G. And A minor has A, C, and E, which means C and E are common notes when it comes to these chords. So let's say let's put them here vertically, right? So we have, let me actually do this with the, with this. So I'm going to try to do this backwards. So we have C, B, A, G, F, E, D, and C. Let's say we have our scale up here, and instead of going C, E, G, and then afterwards A, C, and E, which would be up over here, when we engage in voice leading, we just keep the C and the E where they are, and we just move from G to A. And instead of having to move all of the notes, we just move one of the notes. And Zero, thank you for the membership on YouTube. Hey, appreciate it. Enjoy your status as a citizen. Aristobastard Jr., enjoy your badge and your emotes and your early access to all the content. So, yeah, so we employ voice leading, which for the arpeggios that are happening is very, very good, because that way you don't have to move that much. It smoothens out the transition between the chords, and we can do this for other chords as well, because then if we were to add the next chord in a progression, we could either go for D, F, and A, or F, A, and C, which F, A, and C would be the F chord, so F major, which is one of the two more traditional options. So we bring in F, A, and C. We already have A, we already have C, so we keep those here. We just move from E to C. Voice leading, instead of having to move the entirety of the chords, we just move one note at a time, and we get ourselves a bunch of other combinations. We can, and you can just move and move and move. Then if we were to go from F to D, we go from F to D, so D, F, and A. Oh, we already have F and A. We just now move D, and now we have D minor. And then if we want to go for G, which would be the next logical, that would be the cadential chord, then we just move G and B. We keep D, and now we moved so many chords, but we didn't move that many notes. That is what voice leading does. That is what is happening over here, which keeps the chords sounding same but different. Let's see where this goes. Changing the melody a little bit. Very nice. All right, there's the melody. So we had a few moments where we just allowed the melody to take a backseat, to just allow the accompaniment to come forth a little bit more. Very common when it comes to this kind of music, to just allow the accompaniment to have a moment. you don't need to worry about your motif or anything like that. It's just to allow the listener to get used to everything else. Then we come with another synth that sounds kind of like maybe like a xylophone or something. A little too loud compared to the rest of the mix, but that's neither here nor there. Let's see where this goes. With the motif. Variation of the motif. Modulating. Variation of the motif. So we engaged in modulation now. So if we go back to this absolute cluster that I made before, this is the key of C, right? Like this is the key of C major. And if we were to grab a different set of notes, we would be on a different key signature. And if we were to change from the key of C major to a key of whatever other one, we would have to engage in modulation to change to that. Now, it sounds like we went from through a common chord modulation, which just means we apply the concept of the common denominator, and instead of applying it between the individual chords, we apply it to the set of chords. And then we compare the two separate key signatures and we say, okay, what differences, what commonalities we have between the two. For example, if we were to then bring from the key of C to the key of, let's say, D major, right? So we have D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, and C sharp, and then we repeat to D. So now we have these sets of chords. The difference is that instead of having F natural, we have F sharp. Instead of having C natural, we have C sharp. Those are the two differences. However, there are going to be chords that we can make that are common between the two. For example, we have the chord of E. E, G, and B, which we can make in both of the chord sets, which means if we were to make a common chord modulation, one of the chords we would like to include is the chord of E minor, because it exists in both key signatures before we move on to the chord of D. It's all about common denominators, and I think this is the only one that really is in, I think this is the only common chord available right now, because F sharp is not there. B, oh yeah, B, D, not B, D, and F sharp, that is separate. And then you can get like borrowed chords or anything like that. But the chord of E minor is more than enough to change from C major to D major, because then you use you go for E minor, then you go for A major. And that's it. It's a one note difference between C and D, and you can land your modulation more than that. This is way more a complicated concept than I wanted to go through, but yeah, it's just, that's how common chord modulation works, and this is why I usually don't explain it. Because it's a lot more complicated than some of the other concepts. But yes, a lot of these you just have to go through common denominator chords, and if there are cases where there's gonna be zero common denominators between the two scales, then you have to either start looking at other modes, other methods of modulation, like circle of fifths, picardy third, direct modulation, common tone, that different kind of thing, which is not as smooth as common chord modulation, but it can happen. Tank, welcome back. How you doing? All right, let's see where this goes. So now we have a variation of the motif. It's just on the new key. Very lovely. We go back to the minor scale. Through that... So it turns out that moment when it was basically just the accompaniment, it wasn't. It was an elongated version of the motif. So elongation is when you grab something in music and you make it slower so that it takes longer to play. In this case, it was just the last couple of notes of the motif just going down to create this longer cadence and to allow the accompaniment to shine a little bit more. Really cool stuff, very smooth, and it brings us back to the top. Let's see where it goes. There we go. And back to the major scale we go. We repeat. Straight repetition. Straight repetition. 1-2-1 repetition. And now we add the variation of adding a second layer to that melody, doing the same thing in what we call doubling. Doubling is just more than one instrument, or in this case, more than one layer, doing the exact same thing just from their respective range or instrument for the purposes of texture. Layering is, not layering, doubling is a way of layering in music for instrumentation or orchestration purposes. Let's see where this goes. Potato, Layman, how you doing? Nice potato. Oh, we can bring this newer. We bring this synth over here with a little bit of delay. I think it's delay what this one has. So the concept of echo in digital music is something that is not naturally occurring. It doesn't happen naturally. Echo, because if you're recording in somewhere where there's natural echo, you can record it with a microphone. But if you have a synthesizer or a set of samples, echo is not going to happen naturally. So how do you emulate it? We use one of two methods. One of them is delay. The other one is reverb. Delay is the type of echo you would get if you're standing at the Grand Canyon and you yell and you wait a moment and then the sound bounces back to you. Reverb is the smaller scale one. Imagine you're in an empty church or an empty auditorium or a symphony hall, something like that, where if you speak, you can hear the echo kind of immediately. These are the two types. Right now, what we have is delay. On this one, it's very, very short delay, but it is there, adding a very, very cool vibe to this. Very nice texture. Like, there's only one melody here, that one chime that was a little too loud so far, but melodically it still works. Let's see where it goes. We bring this back. How are you gonna end this? And we remove layers. We keep only the arpeggios and it loops. Okay, there you go. So it goes back and it loops immediately. So there you go. There you go. That was short but sweet. That was nice. That was nice. There's that one melody that was a little too loud, but who cares? It's like it worked melodically. The melody was good. It was just too loud in the mix. That's nothing. So there you go. That was Too Many Light Years from the Freddy in Space 2 soundtrack. Very cool. Very cool. I was surprisingly like 80s rock. Reminded me of that. It was really, really cool. There is an actual echo, and reverb is just a bunch of echoes in quick succession. It's smaller scale echo. Yeah, because the echo you get in the church is still echo. It's just a smaller scale. It's more immediate. So, let's see, did I do Pressure? We've done a couple of tracks from Pressure, yeah. All right, let me do the outro, actually. So there you go. That was Too Many Light Years from the Freddy in Space 2. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here musically. So if you're watching this in the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member, all that good stuff. Once again, everybody, thank you for 4,000 subscribers. At the time of recording, we recently passed the 4,000 subscriber mark on YouTube. I still can't believe that I'm actually making that we made it this far, this fast. I don't care that we're a small channel. I'm just happy to be here. I do not take this for granted. I am very grateful that I get to do this at all, that y'all even like it. So, challenge for y'all. If we hit 10,000 subscribers before Christmas 2025, I'll grab a single fan fiction of the choice of the community, and I will fully produce and voice act an audiobook for it. It has to be legit, though. It has to be achieved legitimately, so no botting, no account duping, nothing like that. It has to be organic, so go share this with your friends or whatever. Do not engage in illegitimate means to achieve this goal. And members get early access. If you are a paid member on YouTube, I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays, and if you're a paid member on YouTube, you get early access to them. So when I schedule the videos, you have access to them if you're a paid member on YouTube, regardless of tier. So consider becoming a member today. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3.5 seconds, I will be linking it in the description down below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, if you're on the live stream, you can start requesting right now, by the way. And if you're not on the live stream, go to the Discord server, link down below. Go to the LFA requests channel, follow the instructions on the pinned message, and that's that. And if you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European time. If you're not in Europe, that's all right. I have the full up-to-date streaming schedule in your local time zone, showing in your local time zone in both the Discord and the Twitch. So if you're in, I don't know, you're in Houston and you're like, oh, but what time is 6 p.m. in Hungary? I don't know. No worries. Go to the Discord, go to the Twitch. Both of them have the streaming schedule in your local time zone up to date too. And follow the gaming channel. I have a gaming channel because I'm on YouTube. Of course, I have a gaming channel. Games are Basterd. That's where I put the recording VODs, the recordings of the VODs of the gaming after shows when or if they happen. Link down below, or just search for it on YouTube. Same username as James R. Basterd. You just swap the J for a G and you got it. And yeah, there you go. That was Too Many Light Years, Freddy in Space. Really good stuff. That was surprisingly good. Yeah, really good. Like, Freddy's music tends to be really good stuff, man. But let's move on. Let's move